Okay, welcome to the Spokal tutorial video on keyword research. Keyword research can seem to be a little bit confusing to some people, so this video might be a little longer than some of the others just to explain some of the options you've got here. So the simplest way, the easiest way to get started is with our keyword wizard. And you come over here and you can just type in something to do with your business. So for example, let's say we're a car mechanic. So I'm just going to type that in. It's gonna travel off to SEMrush, which is the company that provides the data for Spokal, and in a minute should return Okay, there we go. So it's brought back a whole bunch of short terms, a whole bunch of keyword terms that it believes are related to the term car mechanic. So, some of these things, computers are never going to be as smart as people when it comes to trying to semantically analyze the meaning of words. So some of these things aren't going to be relevant. Like cars.com, and you just take those out. You remove them and stick to the ones that are in there. Car mechanic billionaire. There probably is one. Not sure how relevant that is. It's not super critical that you get this 100% right now, but just get rid of the obvious ones. Alright, let's just say we've done that. I'm going to click next. This second step here allows us to add some more. So for example, let's say I just happen to be a Porsche mechanic. And now, right, so it's going to bring back some other stuff. So I can add, for example, and if I happen to be a Porsche in Las Vegas, I can add that. Anything that's relevant here, I can add to that campaign while I'm in here. Again, it doesn't need to be perfect. I can always add things at a later date and remove things at a later date as well. So I'm going to create the campaign. And that's it. Right, so this is our ranking keywords page. Right now, it shows us, for example, I can filter or rank based on score. So this score is a Spokal calculated score that basically tries to tell you which keywords are best to blog for first. To explain how that works, I'm just going to go into account and settings, and I'm going to turn a setting on called advanced keyword metrics. I'm going to save that. I'm going to go back to blog keywords. And now you'll notice there's a couple more columns here, traffic and competition. Basically, traffic is the amount of volume that Google estimates that this keyword gets per month, and competition is the level of competition, in this case high, for that particular keyword. Ideally, what you're trying to find is that golden egg that's got a high traffic and low competition. The reality is well, right there, car talk. That one's beautiful. Lots of traffic, low competition. And yeah, this is interesting. So the Spokal score comes back and it actually calculates based on more than just these two variables. It also uses Google AdWords cost per click, length of the keyword, and a couple of other metrics to try to give you a relatively good indication of what you should be blogging with first. Like everything, nothing's perfect. So basically, these are all pretty similar. So you're probably okay with any of them. But for example, once you start getting down into the red, which is what most of these ones are, you probably find that it's going to be a bit harder to rank for them. I mean, in this case, it's just because they're mostly long tails with high competition. So it's an indicator. Start with the greens and the yellows. Do the reds once you're more confident and you've built up a bit more of a base. So, right, that's your first way through keyword competition and keyword research. Now, once you've built up your first campaign, we have a keyword manager, which basically does the same thing. It's just a slightly more advanced interface, so you don't have to go through 3 steps. Everything is right here. And same thing, so now I can create, for example, let's just say, I've got a car mechanic campaign, and if I want to create a Porsche dealer campaign, I'll click on create. And now it's brought back a whole bunch more keywords, and I can do the same thing and remove them here if I want to, and it's got the score and the searches and the competition here as well. And let's say if I just wanted to add this to that campaign, I can do that, and that'll just add that one keyword to the campaign there, and I can continue to search and add more that way. Be aware of how many keywords you've got. That'll depend on the plan that you're on. In this case, we've already chewed through most of them. In this case, I'd actually recommend getting rid of a few more. Okay, so we have 15 now if I do that. Because suggested keywords, there won't be anything in here right now, but once you've got Spokal up and running, what it'll do is if people are finding you through other keywords, it's actually going to notify you of that. You're going to be able to add them to your tracked keywords as well, just so you can see what you're ranking for and how people are finding you. It gives you a better view than just kind of guessing. So definitely recommend leaving some keyword slots open for the suggested keywords. You can import some keywords as well. And the other thing that you'll want to be aware of is in here, my locations. If your business happens to be geographically specific, so let's say in this case I'm a car mechanic in Vancouver. Lower Mainland is another term that we use for the area, and let's say I'm also in Kitsilano, which happens to be the neighborhood that I'm in. So I'm going to add those, and great, so that's done. The other thing that'll happen now is in suggested keywords, once we've given a little bit of time, is it'll actually come back with the best keywords that you have in here combined with the 3 geographic regions that you set there. So for example, if it determines that auto body repair is actually a really good keyword for you, it's going to generate 3 more keywords for auto body repair Vancouver, auto body repair Lower Mainland, and auto body repair Kitsilano. Something that usually is a manual process, and we've just automated that for you. So we do recommend leaving some keyword slots open. Once you've got keywords, and the reason you want keywords is so that you can blog them. So let's come in here. I'm just going to sort on score here, and yeah, I'm going to blog about a used car dealership. I'm going to blog it, and this is the editor. I'll take you to the editor in a different tutorial, but the reason you want it is you see the keyword here, and these are the SEO scores. So it will literally tell you as you type. You'll see some information change on the right hand side there, and that'll turn green if I keep typing that keyword into. There we go, it just did. And these are the basic guidelines for SEO. So instead of having to research it all and figure it all out for yourself, you just got to turn as many of these green as you can. And you'll see here overall my SEO is still poor, but if I just work on correcting these 3 red ones and maybe one of these yellow ones, that'll turn orange and then green, and then I know I maximize my chances for SEO. And in here as well, I can also determine what my ad is going to look like on Google. So this won't really affect your SEO, it won't affect your rankings or where you show up, but it will affect how many people click on your link when you do show up. So if I have something terrible here that nobody's interested in, the likelihood of being clicked on is not as high as if I have something really interesting like best prices on the hottest Porsches. Yeah, so that's the general idea. That's keyword research. What we do recommend you do with this is once you had a first go through, so that you actually sit down for half an hour and think about it from your customer's perspective. What would they be searching for when they're looking for something like you? For example, it may be that you think that if you're a real estate or a realtor, that they'll be searching real estate in, Kitsilano, where in fact they might be searching for, a first-time home, or they might be searching for a starter home, things like that. It's worth having spending a half an hour and just thinking about what they might be searching about. And that's also where suggested keywords are going to help. Like even if you get that wrong and people start finding you through other ways, we're going to notify you here. You'll be able to add it to your campaigns and you'll be able to track it all in here. Yeah, you'll be able to track it here. When you start ranking, we'll show you here. So if you start ranking number 30th in Google, we'll show you here. If you start ranking 8th in Google, we'll start showing you here. And it'll also show up in here when you have pages that you've targeted, and we'll show you how it's working and what you're ranking for and how many people come in that way and social signals and all the rest of it. So keyword research is important, but it's also important not to stress too much about it and get started. with creating content.